Hi, I'm Steve Fryer. We're standing in front of our store at Southern Market in San Francisco. In the next couple of minutes, what I hope to do is take you inside, show you the wide variety of exercise equipment we carry, give you a brief description of how the products work, but more than that, tie the products into the whole fitness field, give you an understanding of how it'll better serve your client and customer when you talk to them. If you'll follow me, I'll show you what I'm talking about.
A good place to start your fitness training is to determine your maximum heart rate. To find out what your maximum heart rate is, subtract your age from 220. Let's say you are 30. In this case, your maximum heart rate is 190. Now you want to find your target training heart rate. This is the rate that you want your heart to be at in order to achieve cardiovascular improvement. Multiply your maximum heart rate by 0.6 and 0.85. This gives you 116 and 161 beats per minute. By keeping your heart rate between these two numbers during your workouts, you will be able to improve your level of fitness safely.
I'm holding the Pro Trainer, perhaps one of the most unique cardio monitoring systems on the market. It's unique because it's wireless. Many systems require you to wear an earplug of some sort or a finger insert monitor. This is totally wireless. I wear a small transmitter right here on my chest that sends a high frequency signal out from there to the watch. Okay, the Pro Trainer has a half dozen to 10 primary functions, but the most important one is that it gives you a consecutive readout of your heart rate. Also, it'll give you stopwatch function, training zone. It'll tell you how long you were high and how long you were in your target zone. And it gives you stopwatch function and your regular 24-hour clock in 1,200 hours or 2,400 hours. And you can preset your high and low end values for target heart rate. Target heart rate is arrived at taking 220, the baseline, less your age, and working 65 to 80% of that maximum. So if you're 40 years old and you want to work between 65 and 80% of your maximum, your target heart rate would be between 120 and 140. So you'd push the enter button, let the top number bleed down to the target number, depress the lower button, and let the small button rise up again. Well, you've got those two values preset into the program and it's set in the computer. Now, should you be working too hard during the course of your workout and exceed the top number you've preset for yourself, the watch will beep and indicate to you that you're working too hard. Or if you're taking it too easy, it'll also beep at the other end, which is very unique for this system. Perhaps one of the only watches that will give you both high and low end. So it allows you to stay right in the middle of your training zone, which is really critical in terms of burning fat.
The Pro Trainer Heart Monitor. It's $199, made in Finland, it's cordless, and 3-year lithium batteries are included.
The first piece of equipment we're going to be looking at today is the Precor 815E semi-recumbent bike. The manufacturer, of course, is Precor. We carry a lot of Precor equipment here at the Sharper Image because it's quality control equipment. Consumer Reports rates it #1 as far as home fitness equipment goes. Now, the first thing you'll notice about the semi-recumbent bike is the position you're in. It's very advantageous because it gives you low back support, allows a lot more muscle groups to perform a lot more efficiently. The hip flexors, the low part of the abdominal wall. This bike also allows you to have freedom of movement for your upper body. If you want to do an upper body routine, for instance, with 2 or 3 pound heavy hands, you could work the whole upper thoracic cavity and really get an excellent workout, increase your aerobic capacity at the same time. Now, Precor has engineered this very easily to increase or decrease the resistance. You simply change the dial here. It also has some very interesting equipment here. It'll give you an RPM ratio calorie readout. This will tell you how many calories roughly you're burning on a minute in terms of RPM ratio. So if you're doing 60 RPMs and you're at level 3, you're burning roughly 3 calories a minute. All Precor manufactures their equipment with some interesting monitoring devices. This one will allow you to track your RPMs, your distance, your speed, and has stopwatch function. You can put it on clear all the elements, then start and stop the stopwatch function, and then travel around to scan. And what that allows you to do is go through time, RPMs, and miles while you're working out. Precor has installed these simple-to-use Velcro foot straps. They're easy access with speed pedal returns. They're really simple to get in and out of. It does allow you, afford you a great deal more power when you're pedaling. It works high up in the hip flexor area. Okay, you've just finished working out and you want to store the bike. Precor has come up with a real simple answer for that. The bike weighs 99 pounds and they've installed wheels on the back section which allows it to be moved from one part of the room to the other. So if you want to do that, it's a very simple procedure. The Precor 815E seat adjustment is real simple. You simply pull in the pin and slide back to adjust for varying heights. Someone as short as 5'4", or someone as tall as 6'4" could ride this bike very easily.
The Precor 815E exercise cycle. It's $399, made in the USA, weighs 99 pounds, needs 20 minutes of assembly, and uses 2 AA batteries, which are included.
The Precor 718E stair climber is literally a non-impact aerobic machine. With a high incidence of injuries due to either long-distance running or aerobics, a lot of machines are being developed today to minimize the shock of running and jumping in place. This is one such machine. To climb aboard the stair climber, simply put your foot on the down pedal, step up on the up one, and grip the padded hand grips. Now, several different ways you can approach this. Short, little staccato movements like this are fine, or full range of motion, which is a little bit more effective. If there is a knee injury, for instance, you want to limit the range of motion. Now, by adjusting my position on the unit, I can work various muscle groups. For instance, if my body weight is off the unit, I'm going to work a lot more of the calf. If I direct all my weight to the center of the machine and drop my center of balance a little lower, I'm going to engage the front part of the quadricep and a lot of hamstring, and the gluteal muscles are being worked. If I simply make an adjustment like turning my feet in or out, I'm going to be working the ab and adductors, the inner outer thigh. All of the Precor systems have standard tracking features on them. Usually they use a magnetic relay to pick up the impulses as you stride through the workout. The mode selector allows you to go to whatever feature you want: distance, time, strokes per minute, etc. The best thing to do is to put it on time, start the unit, and then go to the scan mode. So it'll go through the 3 primary features that are of interest: time, strokes per minute, and total strokes. The product weighs 65 pounds, and although it doesn't come with any wheels, it's very simple to slide the unit across the floor to another location. Like the Precor rower, they also use the same cylinder setup on the stair climber. It's double insulated so it won't overheat when you're working out, and they use a silicone-based material to also fight the heat. Now, to affect the resistance on the stair climber, you simply change the attitude on the arms, the fulcrum, and it's increasingly more hard at this level than it is at this attitude. Also, the rappelling line can be changed to increase or decrease the range of motion on the machine, which is very interesting. If you have a client that has some damage to the knee and you want a limited range of motion, I can get this machine to go within a 2 or 3 inch movement. Or if you want a full workout, you can change it so you get a full range of motion on it.
The Precor 718E Fitness Climber. It's $399, made in the USA, weighs 60 pounds, assembles in 15 minutes, and runs on 2 AA batteries, which are included with the unit.
You're looking at the Life Rower from Bally Fitness Systems, computerized rowing system that challenges you to compete with the computer on board. The unit weighs 180 pounds and sells for $2,700. This is one of the first systems that has state-of-the-art computer graphics and sound. So you not only get the image while you're rowing, but you also get the sound, so it keeps you motivated. Let me take you through the system and show you how it works. By pushing the start button on the selector panel, the life cycle will ask you, do you know how to row? And if you say, no, you don't, it gives you a graphic illustration of how to row. Most of us do. It's a leg extension followed by an arm pull, followed by a leg retraction and an arm retraction. So you'd say, yes, you know how to row. It's fairly simple. Then it asks you if you want to go with the onboard computer program or you want to shape your own elements. It's a little more interesting if you take the second choice. That way you have control over the distance, the time, the speed, and the strokes per minute. So to ask you time, you can access time. I go 1 minute. Strokes per minute. Obviously, the more strokes per minute, the more difficult it is to keep up with the chase boat. I would say 32 strokes a minute would be a pretty good workout. Then there's 15 resistive levels you can access. So now the Life Rower has all the primary functions: distance, time, speed, strokes per minute, inside the computer. What you're going to do now is race against the computer graphics rower on the screen. On the computer screen, there are 2 figures in a boat. The top one is you, the bottom one is the computer. In the upper right-hand corner are the strokes per minute. There's a calorie readout in the lower right-hand corner, and then stopwatch function in the lower left-hand corner. In the upper left-hand corner, you'll be reminded to use your legs while you're working out, to keep your back straight while you're working out, etc. Now, as you're rolling through here, you're going to get meter sections that'll tell you how far you've rowed, okay? 25, 50, 100, etc. The lower boat is the computer. It's preset right now at 22 strokes a minute. The upper right-hand stroke counter will tell you if you're maintaining that stroke ratio. If you are, then you got to pull ahead of the lower boat. If you fall behind, then you're not working hard enough. So the upper right-hand corner counter keeps you motivated and keeps you on track. You can see as I accelerate here that I start to pass the computer boat because it is preset at a lower stroke ratio. And if I slow down, I'll fall behind. The little guy on the boat will catch up. Believe me, you'll never beat this machine if you put it at max. After you finish rowing, the graphic screen will kick out all the primary elements of the race: the distance, the time, the speed, strokes ahead or behind, whether you won or lost, and how many calories you expended during the workout. The molded foot section holds your foot in secure, and then your Velcro strap will keep it snug and keep it from sliding out. The seat is padded and contoured urethane, very comfortable, and it glides silently on ball-bearing caster wheels. Almost gives you an 80 to 85-inch throw range, so it's going to allow someone very tall, someone 6'6" or above, to get a pretty good workout on this unit. The resistance for the Life Rower is provided by a 25-pound flywheel attached to a magnetic particle brake that allows for even pull for the range of motion. Cable is vinyl-coated stainless steel, very resistive, lasts several years. Life Rower incorporates into its design a soft-touch keypad that's very easy to use. Although the Life Rower weighs 180 pounds, it is very easy to move. It's counterbalanced with wheels in the front and can be moved to any position in the room almost effortlessly.
The Life Rower Trainer from Bali. It's $2,700, made in the USA, weighs 180 pounds, is made of steel and aluminum, and comes with a 3-year warranty.
One of our most popular products, and another in the line of Precor equipment, is the 618E Precor rower. Like all equipment, they make it out of sturdy aircraft aluminum. Won't rust, won't deteriorate or wear out. The cylinder construction is double-walled and insulated. They use the same silicon base material that allows the cylinders to stay cool while you're rowing, so there's even resistance to the range of motion. Attention to detail is one of the things Precor works on most. These are padded neoprene handles, which really eliminate chafing and callousing of hands while you're rowing. Like the Thalheimer, the Precor rower resistive system is changed by altering the fulcrum on the arm. You can slide it to one of 6 presets, and they're notched and indicated there on the side. So you increase the resistance by taking it up to a higher attitude and decrease it to take it to a lower position. Another feature on the Precor 618E rower is the neoprene wheels they've installed. What this does is allows for easy glide back and forth on the track here. Also, they're very durable. Features that are very interesting on the Precor rower is the pivoting foot pod, which allows you greater range of motion, which translates into a much better workout, and the Velcro strap, which attaches very easily and keeps your foot really locked in there nice and tight, so when you're working out, there's no slippage at all. Precor gives you tracking features here: distance, time, strokes per minute, stopwatch function, and they're all changed by altering the mode indicator here. Start and stop feature, and then reset eliminates all the numbers, and you can go right through to scan and go through the primary features of time, strokes per minute, and strokes. Once you've strapped yourself into the rower with these Velcro foot locks and you've set the resistance where you want it, the action of rowing is very simple. First, it's a leg extension followed by an arm movement, keeping the back alignment straight, an arm release, and then a track back with the legs. Although it looks like one movement, it's actually 2. Leg extension, arm, arm, leg. What makes rowing such an excellent aerobic workout is that it not only gives you a full aerobic workout, works the legs, but works the whole upper thoracic cavity, so you're working shoulders, backs, arms, abdominals, and everything. Unlike a bicycle, which is pretty much one-dimensional, the rower embraces all the elements of fitness. Space for a lot of people is a real issue. That's why Precor's designed this rower to collapse and stand on its side. I would say when you're first starting out rowing, you should allow 12 to 15 minutes and at about 25 to 30 strokes a minute. And you can do that by setting the resistance monitor, rather the monitor, to strokes per minute. That way you can track your progress while you're working out.
The Precor 618E rower. It's $269, made in the USA, of extruded aluminum construction, weighs 32 pounds, and runs on 2 AA batteries, which are included with the unit.
I'm standing next to the Life Cycle by Bally. It retails for $1,425, and it is, for all intents and purposes, exactly like the spa model that you see in every major health club in the United States, with one exception. What Bally has done is they've taken a lot of weight out of the cycle, and by doing that they've cut their production costs. And what that does is really enabled you, the homeowner, to be able to move the bike around a lot easier than you could in the past. Now it's a solid steel construction with ABS plastic walls, really a very durable bike, neoprene hand grips here, and then an easy access visual panel to monitor all your progress, distance, time, speed, resistive levels. Now it's powered by an alternator attached to an 8-volt, so you supply all the power necessary to run the grid. The Life Cycle has a very interesting computer panel. Let me show you how it works. Now initially you have to get up to 80 RPMs, access the start button. After you set the time, you have 12 resistive levels you can access, 1 through 12. Obviously the higher the number, the more resistance it creates. Now here's your RPM reading on the left. Here's calories over a course of an hour, although that will change as the hill profile increases. Here's your stopwatch function that will track for 12 minutes, and you're on level 6 out of a possible level 12. The first portion of the workout is a warm-up phase that gets your heart rate up and increase your metabolism. After about 5 minutes, you can access Fit Test. You can take your heart rate on one of our pro trainers here, punch in those numbers, how old you are, and what you weigh. Now, with that information, the computer prints out a number that will indicate how efficiently you're using oxygen. It's called MOU, maximum oxygen uptake. And it's excellent because you can see progress over the course of 6 or 8 weeks. You can see about a 10 or 15% improvement in this baseline number. So it's really a way to chart your progress as you're working out. You're much more likely to get better results in the Life Cycle because you're going to finish the program you started. On a conventional cycle, you'll stop when you're tired. On this bike, you'll go to the very end of the program. The Life Cycle is one of just a handful of bikes in the market that will give you this biofeedback. The Life Cycle comes with padded neoprene hand grips. In about 10 minutes and with one tool, you can assemble the Life Cycle. The seat post assembly slides on. The rear stabilizing bar adjusts with 2 locking nuts. And then there's a male-female hook up here on the grid, and that just brackets right in here and tighten these 2 adjusting nuts, and that's it, 10 minutes. The seat in the Life Cycle is fully adjustable. You simply pull out this black stop knob and adjust it to whatever position is best for you. You shouldn't be able to get full extension with your legs, so you want to have what's called a soft knee when adjusting the seat. So it'll take someone as high as 6'4", 6'5", and someone as short as, someone 5 feet and under.
The Life Cycle 6000 trainer from Bali. It's $1,495, made in the USA, weighs 75 pounds, and assembles in 5 minutes.
This is the final piece of equipment we're carrying by Precor. It's the 905E treadmill. It costs $1,500 and weighs roughly 145 pounds. Unlike the large, bulky spa models and the one that preceded this one, it's very compact and will go into a limited space. Precor has made this panel very easy to read. Your speed indicator is marked here in green, and that will increase the acceleration of the unit, and the deceleration is marked in yellow. Stop obviously is in red, is in big bracket letters there, and the scan feature will allow you to go from time, speed, distance to incline point just by adjusting it through those range of indicators. Time, distance, speed, and incline. Now the Precor 905E has the ability to go from 0.3 of a mile per hour to 6 miles per hour. You can change the speed while you're on the unit by pressing one of the two speed indicators. They're both bracketed with arrows up and down indicating that direction. I can also change the grade. It goes from 0 to 10%. So although 6 miles an hour is not particularly fast, at 10%, it's a serious workout. So someone that's trying to do cardio rehab work on this can do it because it goes very slow, and like most treadmills that start at 2.5 miles an hour, this will start tracking at 0.3 of a mile per hour. And it would take a very strong runner 6 miles an hour at 10% grade. Let me show you how the pre-course safety clip works. Should you be going too fast and lose balance on this thing, the unit will allow you to slip off and disconnect the speed indicator. Now, a common problem with most treadmills is that as you accelerate through the speed settings, they skip or surge. Precor has installed photo-optic equipment in the floorboards that actually read your foot plant and stride variance. So what it's doing is making up to 30 adjustments a second on the rollers. So they've completely eliminated the surging and skipping process that's common to less expensive treadmills. The unit will accelerate in 1/10 of a mile increments all the way up to 6 miles an hour, and will increase to a percentage grade of 10%. Now, I don't know the exact math, but I know that as you increase the speed and increase the elevation, although you're only going 6 miles an hour, your workload is equivalent to running almost a sub 7-minute mile. Very quiet, very stable, and Precor has installed safety railings should there be a problem there, but you can let go and run the way you normally would.